Hello, welcome to episode 44 of Thought Bubbles, sparkling insights into community engagement. In episode 43, I started talking about what is an activist, and this is in preparation for Global Community Engagement Day that is happening on the 28th of January 2019, and the theme for this year is going to be engaging with activists. And so because that's the theme, I always like to start anything by thinking about definitions and what do we actually mean by activists and activism. And so that episode had a bit of a look at some definitions, and I took a bit of a deep dive into a few of those definitions and mulled over some of the ways that we explain what an activist is and also some of the activities that activists do. And the main definition that we had for activists in that episode was a person who campaigns to bring about social or political change. And the episode certainly triggered a lot of discussion, and thank you for the various messages and comments. We're all now questioning how much of an activist we are and aren't. And this got me thinking as I was doing the washing up the other day, gazing out the kitchen window, suddenly dawned on me the question of what's the opposite of an activist. And so I thought, well, activism, other than inactivism, because that's a bit too simple, the opposite word of active, like I say, other than inactive, would be passive or indifferent. So therefore, is the opposite of an activist somebody that participates in passivism, or should we say doesn't participate? But they participate in passivism and they are a pacifist. Is that the opposite of an activist? I think it actually might be. Another couple of words, I googled what is passivism. Passivism. I'm looking forward to seeing my subtitles on this. A passive character, attitude, or behaviour. It also talked about a pattern of submissiveness, and the definition on Google or Wikipedia or whatever, particularly related to sexual relations and submissiveness. And I thought, oh, no, we're not going there. But then I started thinking, well, actually, submissiveness. What does it mean to be submissive? And being submissive is ready to submit to the authority of another. Now, when you're thinking about the opposites of activism, activists are often questioning the authority of another or challenging it or giving disregard to it, if you like. Perhaps the opposite of an activist is a submissive person. I don't think that fits quite as well as a pacifist, but perhaps a pacifist is of submissive nature, of passive character, attitude and behaviour. And so when we think about some of those behaviours that are total opposite of what an activist does, I straight away think of, well, it's the people that just go about their daily thing and don't think at all about social or political change or society, and perhaps do they just watch episodes of The Bachelor on repeat and don't even show an interest in anything in society or community? Is that the opposite of an activist? I've got a feeling it is. And so my final point on what is an activist and what is the opposite of an activist is there a spectrum of activism from passivism to activism? Is there a spectrum already? If there is, can someone please send it to me? I did a quick Google the other day and couldn't find anything. I found a couple of potentials. If there isn't, let's make one, because I want to know where I fit on that spectrum. I know I'm certainly not a pacifist. That word. But I'm not sure that I'm an activist. I think I'm somewhere in the middle. And so perhaps we should create something that explains all the different levels of pacifism to activism. I'll leave you with that thought, but let me know what you think. Off you go. See ya.